other people will put their grief issues off on you. And that it's important that you are able to set boundaries for yourself, in that you may have to tell people, you know what, it is okay for me to not be okay, and it is also okay that my grief doesn't look like yours. Being present is about allowing yourself to experience what you feel and be okay with it. Mm-hmm. So there are days, I literally, maybe 2 weeks ago, posted on my Facebook, it's okay to admit to not be okay. Because I was at a place where, you know, I woke up one day and I was good to go, and I was driving down the street, I was on my way to work, and I hit this one corner, and when I hit that corner, it was like grief sucker punched me right in the stomach. And it was at that moment that I remembered the phone call from my stepfather, and I'm calling and I'm talking to him, and he's like, I gotta let you go, the doctors are here, they said I got cancer, and he hung up on me. And I'm like stuck in my moment, but you know, here I am 2 years later, and I'm driving down the street, and it's as if my entire breath has been snapped away from me, and I'm like struggling to breathe. And it is in that moment that I realized that in my grief, I have to breathe. And you know what? I had to experience that at that moment.
Yes.
I couldn't run from it. I couldn't hide from it. I couldn't get under the covers and pretend like it didn't exist. I had to be present with that one moment, and then I was able to move forward. It took me a minute, but I literally was like, I'm not doing anything today, because it sucker punched me. And that's what being present is about. Being present is allowing yourself to experience those sucker punch moments.
Man, you hit the nail on the head, because grief really does do that to you. You could just be going about your day, jamming to your tunes in the car, and just like you said, it would just come along and just wham, and it's just like, okay, I thought I was okay today, and then all of a sudden you're not. Whew.
Not at all.
All right, how do you know if you have actually grieved?
So, I read that question. I actually believe I read that question several times because what it was a reminder of is that people set expectations of how other people are supposed to do things. Mm-hmm. And so, because other people have set this expectation for you, you question whether or not I've done this right. And so the reminder is that grief doesn't have a right or wrong way for it to be handled. It's your process. Mm-hmm. And when you have experienced grief, I can only describe my experience.
Exactly.
So for me, my experience with grief I've had several instances of grief, and one of which I feel like I live every day. But in reality for me, it was almost as if I went through my days and in the beginning with these very dark covers over my eyes where I could only see kind of like I was seeing with a gray film almost. And then as I began to process and come through and come out, and when I say come out, I don't mean as if I've arrived or been delivered, but as I began to experience my grief and be present with my grief, those dark clouds that were sitting in front of my eyes, or that dark film became a gray film. And then one day I realized that I could see again. And that was when I was able to function absent of those persons that I love not being there anymore. And depending on the extent of which you've loved, that dark film might be black, and that gray film might be deep gray, or blue, or whatever color that represents that level of love for you, that you're sitting in that sadness. And for me, that's what it looked like. And so I believe if you've experienced grief, experience it in your own terms. Don't let people describe to you, oh, you ain't grieve because you're not crying every day. Everybody's grief doesn't look like tears. You're not grieving because you went to work. That may not be how you display your grief. I may be in a grief state and still go to work, but maybe I'm not eating as healthy as I did, or maybe I'm not hanging out with my friends, or maybe I'm not accepting phone calls, or my presence in my social media has declined. The reality is that grief looks like and is experienced however you experience it.
And how important is it to have a support system?
I mean, I'm almost silent because I don't want to. I don't have a word for the importance in terms of. I believe that people are necessary. We were created, in my opinion, we were created to exist with one another. We can't exist solo. We cannot go through circumstance or situation without one another. And so it is my opinion that in order to experience your grief, the people around you will experience your grief with you. Mm-hmm. And so it is important to have other people with whom you can share your innermost darkest feelings with, that feeling of loss, that feeling of disillusion, that feeling of emptiness. It's important to be able to have someone that you can share that with. Even if that means, I have some people that they may not be able to verbally say it, but they draw it and they share it, or they write it and they share it, or they put it into poetry, they put it into song. My support, I'm honest in that I felt like for a long time people didn't understand what I was going through, so I talked to them about it.
Exactly.
So I was talking about it, and I began to teach about it. So for me, my grief and my healing process came through teaching about anxiety and teaching about panic, because those were my major symptoms while I was experiencing grief, were panic and anxiety. And so I began to teach about it, and then as I taught about it, I was able to process my own internal feelings. Well, everybody might not be able to stand behind a podium and teach about anxiety and panic attacks.
Exactly right.
Whatever your gift is, and however you feel the most comfortable in letting those feelings and emotions out, then that's what you do, and then you share it with someone who will, maybe it's someone who you trust, I hope, someone who may keep it to themselves, or someone who will know when to get you help if you need help, because all of us aren't strong enough to ask for it for ourselves. But we need to have people in our corner that will, that will fight for us.
Oh yeah, I will say that I had a good support team. My friends, even though they are all in Texas, and I have some that are here, but my main friends that I feel like could have really helped if they were actually here with me were all in Texas. And so I struggled with that. But even though they were so far away, they were still able to encourage me. And I don't know what I would have done without them. I really don't.
I agree. I think oftentimes we think of support as people being present. And, I always talk about, you know what, the biggest support you can give to people is after the funeral.
Yep.
If there's a death. Because everybody is around until the funeral is over. When the funeral is over, everybody else goes back to their life.
Yes.
And so I believe that presence might look like phone calls. That presence might look like sending a card. That presence might look like, hey, I was just thinking about you today, and nothing more. That presence might be sitting on the phone and just listening to that person weep. That presence really isn't about what you say. It's about being present to journey that experience with them or with me.
I remember the one time that one of my really, really good friends was there for me when I really needed her. It was the week after my loss, and I went to work and I called her on my lunch break, and I was just in tears. I said, I'm still counting the weeks. I should be this far along by now. I said, I'm still counting. When will I stop counting? And I just sobbed. And she just said, she barely said anything. She just allowed me to talk and cry. And that was the best support that I could have ever had at that moment. So you are absolutely right. Absolutely right. Okay. So are you ready for the more hard-hitting questions?
Yeah, so before we tackle these next questions, I think it's important to put a disclaimer out that the next questions that we're going to answer are very emotional. I think it's very important that the listeners have an understanding that the communication here is very sensitive and are very heart-aching, to say the least. To the writers, if you're listening, I would like to say to you that we appreciate your vulnerability and feeling that you could share this information with us. And we want you to know that we do not take your grief lightly, but that we stand in honor of you and your strength to be able to put such emotion into words to share with other strangers. We are not worthy, and we want you to know that we acknowledge that you are entrusting us with a piece of your heart, and we want to honor that. I want you to know that it is very important that you all, as listeners, understand that I am not by far taking it lightly, the information that I'm sharing, that I have studied immensely in order to be able to be knowledgeable of the information that I'm sharing with you, but also that I am here to encourage you that it is okay to stand in the space that you stand in, and that our roles here tonight are just simply to have the conversation that maybe you find you're unable to have in other spaces.
Thank you for saying that. Okay, so this question was submitted by Concerned Wife. I haven't told anyone else this, but I thought I'd try this. My husband lost his 30-year-old son, last year in October to suicide. He was shocked and extremely hurt. Now it has been almost a year and I'm at a loss for words and need some help. All I can do is hug him and tell him I love him and I'm here for him if he needs me. But he'll push me away. I have been by his side and I'm not sure what else I can do to help. He gets into he will sit and cry, but when he does, he will sit and cry and we will talk about it. He turned to drugs right after and it made him turn into an angry person. He drinks and will not come home until between 12 and 2 a.m. 6 days a week. I try to talk to him and tell him that he's turning into a bad person and he will wind up trying to kill himself. What can I do to help him?
Concerned wife. First, what we want to share, what I'd like to share, is that you are by far doing everything that you can do to be present with your husband. It is important that you understand that his grief is exactly that. It's his own. And although it appears as though he's not grieving, he truly is grieving. He's actually screaming out loud his pain and his behavior as a reflection of his pain. It's also important to understand that as supporters and lovers of persons who are grieving death by suicide, it is important to embrace these loved ones with every ounce of yourself. To know that you're doing that is amazing. To know that you're there when he's crying and you're giving him a space to be able to share, to be able to be vulnerable, to be himself with you. And so I pat you on the back and I encourage you to continue to be that strength. I would also encourage you that while maybe your spouse is not ready for external support, that maybe you take the first step in getting the support that you may need in order to continue to support your husband. So while maybe your husband isn't ready to go to a therapist, maybe you need a therapist who can walk you through being a support to your spouse so that when the time comes, you're able to connect him to the resources that are necessary and or available in your community. I really don't have much information to share in regards to the negative coping skills that he's using with drugs and alcohol. You're absolutely right in that those can